Alright traders, a very warm welcome, and as usual it is Friday, probably the last day of trading session. Before moving ahead, let's quickly take a look where we are right now as a sentiment point of view. Sentiment is pretty much heading to the mixed bag after we had a clearly sell-off in equity markets. Equity market has been trying to push back after it had a recent losses starting from S&P 500. Looking at it, 5666 was its all-time high, and after that it's just shown a pushback toward reaching its key support level 5532, and showing us some sort of a consolidation or pullback from there. Overall, we had if we look at the equity market overall, it was a pretty much a mixed bag before we start the session, and the reason can go to the recent news we had from CrowdStrike and from the IT sector, that there was a huge outage which led to the sentiment to the downside. uh, European equity market is the same story. We had a little bit huge downside. And the downside had been happened from a couple of past sessions, and now it is just, as we can zoom in a little bit on it, it's shown a little bit upside to the momentum. China A50 has shown pretty much doing really well. 100 from the England is consolidating in that area. Moving to the commodity sector, probably down, clearly down, bleeding across the board. Precious metals are down, base metals down. Look at the silver, is clearly seeing no sign of relief. Western crude oil softer across the board. Natural gas down. Platinum is also same story as following the silver, gold, and copper. Probably can the blame can given into the dollar strength we are seeing recently. Talking about the yields are showing a no change across the board. There is nothing major catalyst behind it. So probably lack of news or any fundamental catalyst we had across any major countries. So reason can given it to that. The bond market is pretty much sitting at no change. Talking about FX, dollar is the strongest, followed by the CAD, and yen is also having a little bit of strength. However, it has shown a huge strength uh, uh, before some couple of hours, and it's just consolidating there. New Zealand is the weakest, as there is a pretty much mixed bag, and the sentiment is just started to shifting to the mix from a risk off. Clearly, when we have a risk off environment, safe haven cover currencies like yen and the Swiss franc tend to weigh, including the US dollar, and antipodians, including the Aussie, New Zealand, and CAD, tends to be the weaker in the risk off environment. Clearly, now we are having a mixed bag, so there is some sort of commodities, antipodian sector currencies like Aussie and the CAD is showing some strength. However, yen is also including showing some strength. Is clearly a mixed bag. So just a reminder that we are also having a OPEX because it's a Friday, so we can see some choppy price action before we start the session. And on economic calendar, we are not having major events, except we are having some Canadian retail sales data later at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and also we are having a two Fed speakers before we head to the next week FOMC meeting, and this gonna be the last word from any FOMC member before we get a FOMC meeting next week. So FOMC Waller. No, not the Waller, Williams and FOMC Bostic going to be speaking tonight, today. So this is something keep an eye on. And with that being said, risk is pretty much getting neutral after having a risk off. So that's it for the day, and I guess see you in the morning, and you all have a good trading day. Bye bye now.